Hi Cynthia, hi Arnetta. How are you both doing? Are you both snowed in? We definitely are here in the city. Sorry, I'm also getting TikTok going, and hopefully this clicks in too for me. Yeah, how many inches of snow did you all end up with? We ended up with I think it was like 16 or 17. Um, my neighborhood here in the Bronx, we dug out our car the other day and I'm like, I'm not moving. I'm like, if I have to go to work or anything like that, I'm taking the train. There's so many cars that are just like piled up with snow above the windows. Hey Nicole, I'm so glad you could make it. How are you guys doing? Are you all staying warm? I know, I feel like I got so many like crafts done this weekend in the snow. I finished a little crochet bumblebee for my niece, um, and been working on some other crochet items and did some sewing stuff behind the scenes. So I have to set up, change out my thread. I had some bag making thread in here. What was I don't even remember. Oh, I had to sew a strap the other day. My bag was falling apart and I changed out my bag, but I needed a strap. So I had bag making in, so I need to switch. This is just still polyester, but it's like the regular Gutermann side. Yeah, the corners, everything is so packed up. At my parents' house, the plow truck hit the telephone pole and knocked out power for them. But thankfully, the emergency crew came out like very shortly after and they were able to restore it because that would have been so bad. I've been seeing all the pictures of down south, like Tennessee, with everything just covered in ice. It looks so beautiful, but it's so dangerous. All right, I'm just there we go. I'm using my stiletto to pull out the thread down here so I can get this new one started. I'm going to be doing one of the Cuddle books from Cotton Cuts. I'll show it to you in a second. And I think this yellow will match. It's underneath here. It's all about shapes and it has a lot of primary colors in it. So I figured this yellow will be perfect. All right, there we go. I always have so much trouble like finding the start of these things. And I also put the backing on to the pillowcase that I made last week during my live. So I'll show you guys that in a minute as well. So have you guys been crafting or doing anything creative while home in this cold? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here, Arnetta. Like thankfully like New York sanitation is really really good. They are the ones that do all the plowing, but it's just piled up so high. All right, there we go. Wasn't spinning properly at first. Did you get snow, Nicole? I know it was coming through like central and then the east coast of the US. Oh my gosh. So I get for not paying attention. I'm like, why isn't this turning? It was literally spinning around the bottom over here. I hate when that happens. I don't know if this bobbin is what I picked, but it's giving so much trouble right now. I grabbed one of the plastic ones. I'm gonna grab a metal one. Usually I save the metal for the bag making, but sometimes I feel like the plastic ones don't work as well. It might have be warped or whatnot, so. Cynthia, yeah, this one that I'm gonna sew tonight came in for December. January's came in, but I haven't done December's yet, so. This is so weird. I'm gonna have to pull this apart and look at it because it is not spinning the bobbin properly. So let me see what color bobbins I have. I'm off to the side here. I'm sorry if you don't see me right now. I don't really want to do black. I guess I could, but because the only part that you're gonna see is when I sew down this center piece right here. All right. Well, I'm just gonna use this bobbin that I have here with blue, and then I'll switch it out to the same color. I'm gonna have to pull. I don't know why this is getting stuck. It's like it wasn't spinning it properly. So I oil this all myself, so I'll probably take this apart and see if maybe this is not oiled or screwed in so properly. It's been a little while since I've gone through everything, so. And I left the 9014 needle in, which is kind of big, but this gets poofy with all the layers. And so it's Microtex, so I just left that in. I think it'll be fine. Pretty sure that's what I used the last time too. Alright, so let me show you what I have. A lot of fires. Oh no. Yeah, because you're near the desert, right, Nicole? I think you told me that before. The fires were so awful. We got so much smoke from the Canadian fires a couple of years ago. So devastating. I hope not. Yeah, the metal bobbin, Cynthia, works so much better, but I don't use the Gutermann a lot, only when I'm like quilting. So I usually save the metal for when I am doing the bag making ones. So all right, so let me show you. This was from last week, where if you joined me, I was basically doing like the log cabin block to make a pillowcase cover. And so I had put the backing on. It's minky. I had this extra left over from a blanket, and I just used a regular zipper. I wanted to do an invisible zipper, but the invisible zippers that I had were, I think the biggest was only like 6 inches long, and so I didn't think I would be able to get the pillow form inside. So I just used a regular one, but I used this pink, so it blended in really nicely. So I'm gonna wash this before I put it on the couch, not only because of the chemicals and stuff on the fabric, but the minky just sheds so much. It looked like I had taken apart like a Muppet today. I used so many lint roller, like different pages of the lint roller. Oh, okay, now you're in the mountains. All right. Yeah, and so the other thing, what I'm going to do tonight is called the Cuddle Book from Cotton Cuts. So this is the first one that I've ever made, and it has like the little bunny ears. This story isn't an animal, it's like different shapes, so it doesn't have any ears. But I'm going to be making one similar to this tonight. And I ordered it from Cotton Cuts, which means that they also sent all these little goodies with it. So I have them laid out. There's all sorts of ribbons here. They send you an Aurifil thread. This one came with a pencil, and it says Threads of Creativity Unite Us. And then they also sent some promotional stuff. This is their next puzzle mystery quilt, which I'm an ambassador for, and that's what's in this box, so I'm going to show you. They always send different quilt block patterns, and they did a thing like Sew the States. Like they had different quilt blocks for each state, and ironically this one came with Connecticut, and so it has all facts about Connecticut, and this is where I was born and raised, so it's really funny that that's the one that was sent. So I'm not going to be using the thread or the pencil, so I'm going to move all this to the side. Oh, and they also include a piece of plastic, the crinkle. It's like cellophane that you can also put in the book to give it the sound. So I'm going to be using that as well. But before I do that, this came in the mail today. It's the next puzzle mystery quilt. It starts in February, so their sign up still open. They have you pick like what they call a colorway, and so you don't know what the quilt will look like. You just know what fabrics you're gonna get. And I told them that I was fine with any of the colorways, and so I'm pretty sure they sent me the colorway called Awakening. It reminds me of like a retro like 60s, 70s colorway. So we'll see if that's what they have. This is literally my first time opening it. So I'm like, let me do it on the live. And it lasts 10 months. So people can sign up and get a shipment monthly, or you can pay up front and get this whole box. And then so each month they'll just email you they call it a clue, but the instructions for that block. So I'll show you all that it comes with. All right, so it is. I have Awakening, so you can see the colorway. It is A Song to Sing by Pam Selkirk for Andover Fabrics. So these are the 6 fabrics that are going to be included. So you can see it has like that green, and I think the blue is really pretty. So I'm so excited for this. It definitely gives me that retro. And so this has all the information. So the first clue, this over here tells you all the clues. The first one comes out February 6th. And so it's really fun. They have a Facebook group. And so each month people post a picture of their clue with their Flat Nancy. They call this Flat Nancy. And you can win prizes from Cotton Cuts. And then so in there they have all your, like they have labels for each month. They tell you like all the pieces. And then each month is a little bag that's labeled. So this will be month 1. And they always include a gift in month 1 and month 5. So this is really cute. The fabrics are a lot brighter in person than they look on the screen. So I'm really, really happy about that. So it has all the clues in here, and they usually send, you can buy what's called an oops pack. And so this is just like a fat eighth of each fabric. So if you make a mistake one month, you have some extras. So that is something that people can add on or purchase if they want. So yeah, I'm so excited. So this will start up in February. So come February, I'll be working on this probably on some of my lives as well. All right. So now I'm going to actually start the book. I have cut out all the pieces and the batting. I'm using like an extra thick batting from a poly batting just from Walmart. I have it left over. It was like the edges from a quilt. So I have it just cut to each side. I've already cut out all the pieces and I pressed them earlier to get out the wrinkles. I know, Dad. I can't believe February is next week already. I can't believe January is already at the end. So, yeah, next Friday will be the first clue. Aw, thanks. I really enjoy quilting. It brings me just like a sense of peace. It's not mindless, but I don't stress about it so much as I do like when I'm making a bag about it being so perfect. And so this all came as like 1 yard. And so it has the instructions down here. So that's what I'm just going to be looking at and reading. Yes, my dad's birthday. February is a very busy month. My dad's birthday is in February and Jason's birthday is in February. And a whole bunch of other family members in February as well. But yes, February for a short month is very, very busy. All right, so I am going to, this is the cover. So and this is the book. It's shapes. So that's why it's all primary colors. It tells the story. So I am going to put the batting behind this one. And for the cover, I have clipped it just slightly smaller. And I need to put it right sides together with pages 1 and 10, which is this one here. Oh, so James is my dad. And my grandpa, his dad, he passed away, but my grandpa was born on leap year. So he always joked that he was, like 20 because he only had a birthday every so many years. Yeah. Yeah, James is my dad. He's always on. He usually stays till about 8:30. So he's always watching, but he doesn't always say something. All right, so I'm just putting these right sides together and I'm going to sew completely around and just make sure that I leave a turning hole in the bottom here. And I'm just going to clip them together. So I think it was last week I mentioned that I have some exciting news and I was just waiting for confirmation. And I'm 99.9% sure it's confirmed. So I believe in April, I will be vending at the American Quilter Society, AQS. They are doing a show in Hartford, Connecticut. They're the ones that do the Paducah, the big one in Paducah. They do one in Florida and Michigan. And this year they added Ohio and Hartford. So I'm really, really excited about it. There's not really any big quilt shows in New England at all. This is their first year. It was a little pricey to vend, but because it's so close to home, we can like drive there every day. Like we don't have to worry about hotels, if we don't want anyways. So I'm really, really excited. And why I say that we're 99% sure is because I paid for it, but they haven't put us on like the official vendor list yet. But I got an email yesterday. You can do like a learning presentation, and I signed up or said that I'd be willing to do a presentation about like zipper tape and using zipper tape and custom pulls. And so the lady emailed me yesterday and confirmed today that I will be presenting on Saturday, I think it's April 10th at 10 a.m. or April 8th, whatever that week is. It's the week right after Easter. So because she confirmed that I'm presenting, I'm 99.9% sure that we are officially vending as well. So I'm really, really excited. I'm hoping to make some connections in the quilting community in New England and this area up here in the Northeast. Sorry, I'm just reading. Every time I go live on TikTok now, when I talk about like cotton cuts, it like restricts my video because it's like you're recommending people to leave cotton cuts or leave TikTok to go to another website. All right, so I have this all clipped. I'm gonna sew it with the batting side down so it doesn't like bunch up, and I'm just gonna leave, I don't know, like a little turning hole down here in the bottom. And it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so I'm gonna make sure I do about that. Yeah, I'm so excited, Cynthia. I cannot wait. Like, I really love teaching. I know, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do any other shows this year. It's just so expensive to travel to them. But this one being so close to home really, really worked out perfectly. And I'm hoping that they have a good turnout because it's, like I said, it's their first year that they are doing it. So I guess we'll see. The other thing that I didn't think about is they gave me these ribbons. And so on the last one, I tucked them inside. So let me do that. Since I haven't sewed all the way around at all, I'm just going to put these right sides facing in so that way when this gets turned, they'll be sticking out. And I like to leave so there's plenty of extra poking out. I'm using a 9014 right now, a microtext, which is kind of large for it. But I figure because I'm going to be going through so many layers as I keep going, that it will be fine. I usually, to be honest, use a 9014 microtext for everything except for when I'm just sewing like 2 pieces of quilting cotton together. Then I usually change to the 7010. But otherwise, my preference is a 9014. And that was one of the reasons why we did the rush pre-order as well that I had talked about. So that way we will have more vinyls and fabrics to have at the show as well. I still have to put a zipper tape order in. Jason and I have been deciding like what colors of zipper tape and what color teeth we want to order. I always prefer like rainbow and bright colors, but a lot of people that purchase from us prefer like more neutral. Yeah, I probably could get away with an 80-12. I wouldn't do a 70-10 though with all the batting. But why I like the 9014 is because at the very end, you have to sew down the center here and you have all those layers smushed together. So if you do the 80-12, I would at least switch to the 90-14 when you get to putting them all together. And I'm really excited. If this turns out good, I'm going to include it in one of the gifts for my friend who is due in like a week or so. I just gotta remember. I always like forget to leave a turning hole, so I just have to remember that now I'm on that side. Yeah, and they said for the cover to cut the batting a little bit smaller, so that's what I did. It catches in the seam at the top and the bottom, so it holds it in place. But for the other ones, I cut it the same size as the book pages. And what I'll do is I will just hand sew these closed later on, even though that's my least favorite part. But the last one turned out so nice with hand sewing them closed, so I'll probably just stick it to that. Yeah, it's so easy to just kind of get caught up in the flow of things and just keep sewing. I do that I can't even tell you how many times I do that in bag making and sew up my lining. Hey Sean, how are you? So the guy who sews, his name is Sean. He is also a Cotton Cuts ambassador. Sean, I gotta show you real quick. I got my box earlier, and I told Paula to just surprise me. So I am sewing up Awakening. So it's really cool. It's like it's almost like a retro. It gives me like a very 60s vibe. So I'm super excited. Yeah. Which colorway do you know, Sean? Which one you're sewing up? Hey, yeah, I'm trying to be more consistent about being live on Tuesdays. So I'm so glad you can catch me. Oh, Dear Diary. That would be cool. That's very different. Yeah, Sean loves batiks. He's the one that really influenced me. If you saw on some of my lives or follow my YouTube videos when I was sewing up the Phoenix colorway, I love the colors because it reminded me of like autumn, like the trees changing, but also because it was batiks, and that was a great experience. I like that a lot. Oh, hey Lucy. I'm glad you said that because I was like, I know who this is, but I don't remember the name exactly. So thank you. Hi, Lucy. Oh, nice, Nicole. I do not have the patience for hand sewing. Honestly, closing the hole in these Cuddle books was like the limit of my wanting to hand sew. But I have done a couple fabric paper piecing, and I've really, really enjoyed doing that. I'm just poking out all my corners right now, and I'm literally using like a takeout food chopstick. Just so that way when I go to sew these all together, it's already taken care of. And I pressed these. I probably could give it another press. But any wrinkles it's getting is like from right now, from me actually turning it. And I want to put a crinkle in each of these, but since I have the opening, I might just do it at the end. Last time I did it as I was sewing, but I think I'm going to do it at the end. So this is the first. This will end up being the cover and the back page, and then it's page 1 and 10. And so what happens is we'll stack these. So now I got to double check to make sure that I'm putting the next 2 pages together correctly. Oh, you could absolutely, Sean, you machine close them? Yeah, I probably should or could, but I feel like if I did that, then I, because I'm like very particular, would want to top stitch all the way around. And you absolutely could do that. I just think it's a lot more work. And I don't know if I have the patience to go all the way around. And then I think it was Cheryl that recommended, she sometimes glues them closed. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea too. I was just worried about the glue that I have being too liquidy and then it's showing. Because I've had that where the glue seeps through the quilting cotton because it's so thin. Okay, so now I need 9 and 2 and 3 and 8. Okay, so here's 3 and 8. And 9 and 2. Yeah, so that's the other important thing to pay attention to is the book pages that you are putting together, sewing together, because otherwise your book will be very much be out of order. That's true, Sean. I'm sure that no one besides maybe another sewist would ever know that it's just stitched clothes. Oh, Charlene, yes, it was Charlene. It was you that recommended. How are you? How was your retreat? Charlene just posted pictures of a retreat, and it looked so fun. I'm jealous of you down there in your warm weather. Or I hope it's warm for you. I hope it wasn't unseasonably cold. I think you were far enough south, but... Alright, so now I'm just clipping these pages together. This batting is going to be in the seam allowance for some of it. It's not a problem for me or my machine. It will go through that, no problem. What I have trouble is a 1/4 inch is such a small seam allowance, and just because it has like the color on the side, just making sure that this is lined up as evenly as possible and that I'm catching everything as much as I can. All right, and now I'm going to put 2 more ribbon in. So again, I'm just kind of tucking them right side facing in, 1 on each side. Nice. Were you able to finish it? Was that the picture of it in the background? Was that the quilt that you had made? I really want to do a quilting retreat. I think that would be a lot of fun. There is a woman, her name is Bethany. I have to think of her handle on Instagram. Crafting with Bethany, maybe? She is doing one in Tennessee, but it's in March and it's like during school. I have to find one that's like during the summer. I think that would be a lot of fun. Charlene, I'm so jealous. Send that weather this way. Yeah, Cynthia, I think it's like the same. It's so cold. It's probably 0 with the wind chill. And actually, I don't know if it is right now, but it said possible flurries again, so we'll see if it's snowing. I think as of right now, there's a possibly another storm coming for us Sunday into Monday. I'm hoping it shifts a little bit, but right now it doesn't look that way. Yeah, so if you're just hopping on now or catching, I'm going to be vending and doing a demo at AQS in Hartford during April. It works out that it falls exactly during my April vacation. It is the week after Easter, so not sure if anybody in New England or Northeast is on right now, but if you're close, it should be a lot of fun. Oh, well, did you find it hard, or were the instructions? I'm not really, I have to look up some of her patterns. I'm not familiar. Or if I know her, I don't realize that I know her by the name. This one, when I was cutting it, had kind of like a wrinkle in the batting. So there's quite a bit sticking out over here, and I'm just gonna trim it off after. I have a walking foot for this machine that I never really use, but maybe for the next one I'll try it. I wonder if it would be helpful since it's like so floofy. Yeah, right now, the models are showing like, up in New England, we call them nor'easters. They're like, basically like a blizzard. So, from what I was watching, I guess it depends how like the winds come off of like Canada and the Great Lakes and how they come down. But if they come down a certain way, it's possible to be a blizzard in New York, New England, and Cynthia, I guess Pennsylvania too. Oh, it's all paper piecing. Okay. I'll have to look into it. I really love the details and the designs that you can get with paper piecing. Some of the retreats, or not retreats, the expos that I have vended at, Legit Kits were a vendor there, and all of their quilts are paper piecing, and they look incredible, but they're so detailed. So I had downloaded just a super easy fabric paper piecing to kind of get the hang of it. And a few months ago, I might have shared it before, but I put this one together myself of a pencil. I did the lines and everything for it in Illustrator, and then I just turned it into a pencil case to see how it would work. But I feel like I have a million projects and a million designs and ideas. I have to really crack down and actually put them into writing to get them out there. Yes, I put the ribbon in. Thank you, Cynthia, for reminding me. Yeah, it's so easy to forget those little ribbons. Yeah, even though we have so much snow right now, part of me was like excited. It reminded me of you know, being a kid. I can remember like growing up in Connecticut and just having so much snow and just playing outside and building igloos and stuff. Although the snow that we got wasn't very good for like building like snowmen or anything this current time. All right, let's see if I can turn this one. Did I not do this? Oh no, I'm gonna have to pull this all apart. This is what I did the first time too. I put the batting between. So now when I turn this, the batting's going to be on the outside when it's really supposed to be on the inside of this. So ironically, Cynthia, I remembered the ribbons and put the batting in the wrong place. You know what it is? I think it's the bag maker in me is just like interfacing on the inside, on the wrong side. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to pick apart. My seam ripper will be getting work tonight. Yeah, seriously. Thankfully it's coming apart fairly quickly. We'll see if... I need like a little checklist, like make sure it's on the wrong side. The worst part is I feel like it sewed so nice, like the edges were all aligned. I was like, oh, this is good. That's what happens, right? It was too good to be true. I love this seam ripper because one side is the seam ripper and then the other side is the stiletto. I like to get more use out of the stiletto than this part, but it is what it is. Yeah, I have not made a bag yet either. I actually, one of my goals last year was to sew through my stash instead of buying a lot of new stuff, which I did, and I want to continue that. And I had a bag that I had made and like didn't catch one part of the pocket, but it's not really a pocket that I use a lot. So I just switched my own purse into that. The only thing that I've done bag related this year is made a strap to go with that purse. So can your batting stick out on all sides? Cut it later, turn it to the right side. Yeah, see the problem is if I turn it to right side, it's on the right side of this book page is what happened. Because I was supposed to put it on the back side, but I sandwiched it like I was making a I don't know, like I was doing a pocket in a bag or something. I did that the very first book that I made too on one of them. Usually I like, let's see if I can, this fabric's so delicate. Sometimes I like to like, if it's a thicker waterproof canvas, I can kind of hold both and just like pinch this. But I'm gonna try it, but hopefully I don't rip the fabric. know if you guys hear it on like the camera, but if you do, my neighbor upstairs is I don't know if she's like using furniture, like she hurt herself, but it sounds like she has been moving furniture all week. So if you hear a lot of loud noise, that's what that is right now. What was the pattern, Nicole, that you made that was perfect for a teacher? Oh, Charlene, I can imagine. I'm looking at the comments above. I can't even imagine what your summer must be though. When we went to Las Vegas, that was so hot in July. Like I am not a desert person. Although it was so cool. Charlene, are you going again to So Bestie in Vegas this summer? No, it's our upstairs neighbor. And I don't know if she's like I don't know. Like I can't imagine she's been moving furniture for a whole week. But yeah, that's what you hear. That's the one thing about New York City living. Like you hear everything. It's funny when my parents came to visit with my nieces. I was like telling my nieces, I was like, "Girls, you can't run around. Like we have people below us and above us." Oh, great, Charlene. Yeah, I don't. This year, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to teach or whatnot. I know definitely never vending. It's so expensive to like move everything. Like being in New York to vend out west. Um, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to make the teaching work this year. Yeah, you can hear it, right, Cynthia? It's so loud. I'll have to look at that one, Nicole. I love all different bags. Actually, as a teacher, my favorite bag is I carry a backpack everywhere. And even working out of the office right now, um, I do love totes, but they get so heavy and then I feel like it's all the weight is on one shoulder. So I literally carry like a full size backpack like a student. And it's funny too because if you've met me, I'm short. I'm like 5'2", so I'm like the same heights as the kids. All right, almost done picking this out. And usually I'm lazy. Whenever I do this, like I probably like will pull off the strings later. Like if there's any big ones, I'll just get them now. But the rest, I'll just after I turn it or whatever, use a lint roller to get them. All right, last side. The bad part is I don't know. I don't know where the other ribbon went. Let me see. I don't know. Maybe it will. I was thinking maybe it was stuck in the batting, but I don't see it. Oh my god, this side is like the bigger pain because it's where I'm gonna pick it from this side because the batting was sticking out. I'm like I keep catching it, so I'm just gonna pick it every so often from the wrong side, and then hopefully it will just open up easily. Yeah, my favorite style purse to carry is a crossbody. I always use a crossbody, and I prefer them with a zipper closure. That way, just like when I'm walking around New York or on the train or whatnot, I don't have to be so mindful of it. Because usually if I'm taking the train to work, I'll have my bag, like my crossbody bag as a purse, and then my backpack with all my work stuff. I used to really like purses with just short grab handles. Again, because I'm so short that I could still put like the handbag handles over my shoulder. The style that I like the least, I think, is like a shoulder bag with the longer handles. They never stay on my shoulder. I always have them sliding off. I also don't use like wristlets a lot either. Wristlets I only take for concerts. And I love the look of sling bags, but I don't like them for like to use practically as a purse. All right, perfect. Okay, so now let me put this on the wrong side. Hopefully I don't make that mistake again tonight. If you see me sandwiching it, make sure you yell at me. Alright, now let me put this. I'm just clipping along the top first. And I don't know where the heck that other tiny ribbon went. Oh, here we go. Found it. It literally fell through the little opening. Okay, good, Cynthia. Thank you. Yeah, same thing. Like, I like just being able to hook it and go. But I actually really enjoy, when it comes to sewing though, I love sewing sling bags and mini backpacks. Swoon, I think they're, what do they call themselves now? Swoon was then bought by like Mrs. H and then is something else, Sewing Center or something. But they have a backpack called the Lucy that I love. That is like one of my favorite backpack patterns, mini backpack patterns to sew up. Oh, messenger bags, yeah. Yeah, it is confusing, Cynthia, because the batting is on the outside, and that's so when you turn it, it gets pinched between. But my brain, for whatever reason, is like thinking of it like a pocket and keeps wanting to put it on the right side. You know, Renee, I don't think I've sewn a messenger bag. That was my, when I was in high school, that was my preference to carry around, and I used to put like all sorts of pins and stuff on it. That was really cool when I was in school. But I don't think I've actually sewn one. That'd be fun to try. All right, almost done pinning or clipping. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully this goes better. And I should remember, because the batting, I just need to keep reminding myself the batting should be against the feed dogs. That's how I know I have it correct. The Candy Bag by Petal Sewing. I'll have to check that one out. I know, I keep telling myself I have a bag pattern half written right now, and I keep telling myself I can't sew any new bags until I finish writing that pattern. And I have so many bags that they're such a pain to create listings for that I just get lazy and then never put them on my website, but I really should. So that's another thing too. But I'm going to bring them to the quilt show and use them, like display them as examples of the different fabrics and zipper pulls and stuff. Just checking to make sure I caught the corner. So I feel like because of the batting, it makes it a little bit difficult. Like it wants to slide a little bit. Oh, Nicole, I'll have to check it out then. If it's a book bag, I would probably love it. Especially if it's big enough to put like your notebooks in, and I carry an iPad for work, so that would be perfect. And honestly, right now I just use a like one, I think it's like a Vans or something. I don't know. I've had it for so long that the bottom is starting to like wear out, so. There's a backpack, I can't remember the name of it, but I've done a tutorial for it by Lacus Designs, Lacus, and it is a full-size backpack that has 3 different options, and I made that, and I really like that one. The Joseph Messenger bag by Shambhala. I've not tried a Shambhala pattern. How are they? I'm almost intimidated by them because they look so professionally done that I'm always like I know my machine could probably handle it, but I get in like that self-doubt. Oh, that is great. I love when there's options of sizes. Oh, they're easy? Okay, I'm gonna have to try one because I guess whenever I see them, people do the Shambhala in like leather and they just look so professional. And I know my machine can like go through the multiple layers, but when it gets too thick, it will struggle sometimes with the top stitching. But that's what I usually do then, is just try to like mix vinyl with quilting cotton or cork, like mix up the materials. Yeah, she's been around for a really long time. I know that people really like her patterns. All right, much better now that this is actually done correctly. Oh, that's great. I'm excited for Lynn's Handmade to make her duffel bag. I've been watching her progress with that one, and that looks like it's going to be really good too. My niece plays soccer, and I thought that would be a good bag for that. All right, perfect. So now we have, I'm going to start stacking these. 1. So this will be the 1 and 10. So then if this goes on top of it, you'll have page 2, 3, and you can see that the inner pages are a little bit smaller than the cover. So you just line up that center line. I'm not going to line it up so perfect right now because I still have, what's it called? Another page to do. All right. I think I cut an extra, yeah, I cut an extra batting, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. All right, make sure I'm putting it wrong side so I don't make that same mistake. There we go. Yeah, the duffel bag looks huge. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. The what was I gonna say? Yeah, the craft season this year, I think just like all around, everything was just much slower. I know for our own shop, that was the case, which is one of the reasons why I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it out to Vegas this year, because it, like I said, it's just so expensive to get out there. And I know it's been tough all around for everybody in all industries. Oh, you get to your niece in Scotland? Oh my gosh, I was just talking about Scotland. I want to go to Scotland so bad. I saw in one of the Facebook groups that people have gone to Scotland and they have made a bag. Like you can go to a bag making class where they use the, oh my gosh, I can't think of it. It's like the wool, like that's woven. The name will come to me. But like you can take a class there and it's all like hand woven on one of the islands. So neat. I've been reading a lot of, I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, and I've been reading a lot of fantasy books with like dragons and fae, and it all takes place in Scotland and Ireland. And I'm like, I've been to Ireland, but not Scotland. I did a semester abroad and lived in London, England. So I got to Ireland and Wales, but not Scotland while I was there. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to give bags and stuff for gifts, or just any craft. Really, like I mentioned before, the baby blankets that my grandma makes, like that she crochets for baby showers, or as long as the person is a person that appreciates handmade. And for the ribbons, I just kind of estimated and tucked them in. So hopefully they will be, spread out enough that they're not too close together. If you wanted to be more precise, you could definitely measure when putting them in. That's so funny. Oh, that's really cool. I want to take some cross stitching and make a bag with it, like use it as a panel. That's another thing I want to do this year. Harris tweed, thank you. That is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I know that there's places that sell it around, but I thought they made. I think Harris tweed is. I thought it was made in Scotland on one of the islands. I totally could be wrong and could be thinking about a different type of material. But Harris tweed is what I was thinking of. I know Lynn's from Lynn's Handmade and a few other bag makers incorporate it. There was I was scrolling through, I think it was like either TikTok or Instagram, and there was a one of the fabric mills in Connecticut does fabrics like woolen and stuff, but they sold like finished products, or I think like they sell to designers in large quantities. But I was thinking of reaching out and seeing if they offer like smaller options or whatnot, because it was like the same idea of the Harris tweed, like the same style of it. I didn't leave this turning hole quite as big, so hopefully I'm just taking my time. Yeah, see, that's what I thought, because I had looked it up once, and I think that's why, like, when you purchase it, you even get like a little tag to show that it's official. I also know people have found have like kind of upcycled and have found Harris tweed jackets and different clothes in thrift shops and stuff. Yeah, I think that's why I know it's all still like handmade, which makes it so pricey. So now, once I put this together, I'm going to have to figure out if I want to... Right now I have the bobbin blue and the top this yellow. So I have to figure out if I want to change to a different color. The problem is I don't know. I guess I could change to one of these. Maybe I'll do that. I think I have a yellow. It's a different text, but I think it would still be fine. Yeah, I never get lucky. We go into thrift shops, but I never really find anything like too good. There's a woman that I follow on Instagram. I believe her name is Poppy Lou Clothing, and she works somewhere in the city, and always she finds all these like handmade tablecloths, like stitched, and she turns them into the coolest outfits. If you don't follow her, it's really cool to see. Okay, 1, 2. All right, so this is the crinkle. I am going to, I think, cut it into 3 strips, because there's technically 6 pages when I cut this or sew it together, but 3 on each side, but 3 long ones. So I'm gonna put 1 in each long one. it happened to work out that I left 2 openings on the left and 1 on the right. So I'm literally just going to tuck this into where the opening is on each side. I don't know what the name of this paper is. I think they just call it crinkle. So I'm not sure where to purchase it if you were looking for it on your own, which is kind of why I'm glad that Cotton Cuts includes it. All right, so now I just need to put these all together. I'm going to see if I have a yellow bobbin in the different texts, which I do. All right. I keep like a whole bunch of bobbins, like pretty much every roll of text 35 I have a matching bobbin, where these 2 yellows are so close together, you won't be able to tell. And one's going to be like in the middle, one's going to be on the front. So this way at least they'll both be yellow and not one blue and one yellow. For the construction, you didn't see the thread, so I wasn't so picky of it. I'm going to have to put fixing this on my to-do list for tomorrow. All right, so I'm just double checking that I have this in order. So there's numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then the next thing is they all have this orange strip down the middle. So I'm going to use that as my guidelines to stack up. Yeah. Well, the thing with hobbies is that they can be like, they become so expensive so quickly. So it's definitely good to be mindful. That's another reason why I'm like, I have so much fabric that I have amassed that I really need to sew through. Particularly, I have a whole bunch of cotton lycra, and I need to really like take out the projector and cut out some clothes for my nieces and sew through that. I gave one of my nieces one of my shelves that I use for fabric. So over the new year, when I was off from school, I reorganized and went through the closet behind me in my craft room, and I got rid of, or I'm going to bring home a lot of stuff that I don't really craft with anymore, that my nieces are old enough and can enjoy. And then I really went through my fabric so I know what I have and trying to plan out projects and stuff. All right, so I've clipped these, and I'm just going to sew from the inside, and I'm just going to try to stay like towards the center of this. I could probably sew, I don't know, maybe it would be better to sew from the top because that's going to be more visible. So maybe I'll sew from this side. That way I can try to stay straight on the outside here. So this is where it really gets thick, and why I recommend that thicker needle. And probably this is where the walking foot would probably really help. And I'm not starting at the very end. I started a couple like millimeters in, and I'm going to stitch forward and then back stitch. Because otherwise sometimes it has trouble like going up the hump. I do have one of those little hump jumpers somewhere, but I don't really use it. I forget about them, and then I don't know. I guess I never really use it properly where I notice that it actually helps. And honestly, I'm just using my hands to really like squish this and keep it kind of aligned right now. Perfect. I should do that. I bought a couple of the Ellie and Mac dresses for dolls. My nieces have. They have a couple American Girl dolls, and they also have the like the Target ones, which are the same exact size. So I bought some, but I have not made them yet. But they would love that to have the matching to go with it. You have 2 rooms full. Yeah, this room that I'm in is 8 by 10, and it has all the crafting stuff in it. All my machines, like my personal fabrics, and then we have in the back room where we keep our stuff for all the store. Yeah, so it just finished up. The inside, you can see it's actually right along the edge of the orange, so that's good. It didn't like squiggle too much, and I'm glad I sewed for this side because then it stayed like perfectly center. And I'm really happy with how the ribbon placement too. It's pretty staggered throughout. So now all I have left is to hand sew, and I'll do that. Usually I do it while I'm watching TV or something else. Stuffed bunnies. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's awesome. My nieces get most of my stuff. They come and they're like, can I have this bag? Can I have that? They definitely have the most stuff of things that I have made for sure. Alright, well, I'm going to stop here tonight. Thank you so much for joining in with me. I hope you guys are all staying warm, staying safe. I hope you have a good week. Next week, I will definitely be on. I'm not sure what I'll be sewing yet. Maybe the Under the Sea quilt. I'm looking over to my left to see. I have a few half-finished projects, so really depends what I cut out or get going on for this week. But yeah, they are moving the furniture again. I'm so sorry about that. But all right, have a good night, everyone. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.